I feel like now that we're into the are we into the even worse hour now? I feel
would
like
say
we
so.
are.
Yeah, I would say so.
Let's talk about. It's time to talk about root density.
With bins, is that a thing? Do they have?
That must be.
Right?
You should start that.
It is.
Mike, you are the bin king now. We've got a whole online persona for you. We can start selling things.
What are we coming out with? So, did you guys notice that in my notes today, or maybe yesterday, one of the days, I put NO, not R, NOFH. I wanted to start referring to this as the NOFH, not our finest hour. Hashtag NOFH.
The NAFA.
NAFA. The NAFA. The NAFA. That's what we'll refer to it as.
You're listening to the NAFA podcast?
I had a few people message me with topics like, you know what's really hard? I don't remember what the fuck we talked about like last week or the week before.
We didn't do last week. I was on my deathbed.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well, maybe that's why I have no memory of it, because it never happened.
It never happened. Not that anyone knows that, right? Like it's...
Yeah.
We had a couple episodes in the bank that we're drawing from. Yeah.
Maybe we could... Nobody knows Chad was sick last week because they're scared of COVID.
It's not COVID. I took a test.
Really?
Yeah. They give them away free at the grocery store.
False negative.
Whatever. I took one. My wife took one. Not that it matters. It doesn't change anything.
You're playing into their narrative, bro.
I know. I'm getting my 5th shot tomorrow, just to be safe.
I've never taken a test. I never took one. Have you? Like, obviously, you took one. Did you take one, Mike?
Yeah, I've taken 2, and
2?
That's negative. It? But I did get it, so if that counts for anything.
Yeah, we'll give it to you.
On all my trips, they make you take like 4, right? Like whenever you go to Mexico, they want you to take one when you get there, and then when you get to your room, and then when you're flying home, and then when you get back to the airport. And oh yeah.
So I haven't gone anywhere for 3 years, so maybe that's...
Maybe if we go on our little trip there in a couple of weeks, they'll make you take one. Yeah,
what do we do if we do like drive over the border? I don't even know anything about traveling right now. Like,
well, I can tell you what you don't do. You don't fill out the ArriveCan app. Fuck that.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like an app on your phone that the government uses to track you. It also does you can claim your, make your like duty claims on it or whatever. Claim your products, your alcohol you're bringing back, and so they're saying that that's the real purpose of it, but really it's for data tracking. It's tracking the chip. Well, it works in pairing with the chip that's in your arm from the vaccine.
Yeah.
So now we're going to be
this even worse hour is really bad.
Yeah, we're going to be like the 192nd most subscribed to conspiracy podcast.
We're going to be shadow banned because of this.
No, we're going to be in the conspiracy category for the next.
If you want to talk conspiracies, then let's talk about the fact that you got to buy a whole layer, even if you need one fucking square, just so they can sell the rest of the layer. That's a conspiracy. Every product products used to come squares, rectangles, small rectangles. You bought what you needed to create the pattern and mix that you wanted, and you could return a single brick because you could buy a single brick. And then the mixed layer came out and the profit margins skyrocketed. There's a conspiracy theory for you. Landscape style. The mixed layer. Whatever executive thought of that is long fucking retired. He gets a little piece of every mixed layer that goes out the door. Like, here you go. The average manufacturer produces 600,000 skids of material a year and collects $5 per skid usage fee. That's like a cool $3 million for doing jack fucking shit.
Wow. Yeah.
Now we're getting into the deep conspiracies.
This is deep.
Now we're going deep. and they pack a free COVID test with every skid. Every skid comes with a free fucking COVID test. I think that maybe I'll use it as a marketing campaign. Free COVID test with every quote.
Yeah,
never been dropped off.
Oh my god. The bins are like such a big focus, and the driver who quit from the gravel. I'm just hoping that I'm hoping that one of the people that put us in the 170 most downloaded podcast is also a driver looking for a job driving gravel. I have one available. We actually have 3 positions available right now. Our one guy that left did text us and say, "Hey man, just wanted to let you guys know I told the new company I worked at that I'm working for, I worked at Paver King and they hired me right away. Thanks." Sweet, bro. Fucking awesome.
You're the farm team
that's great.
For drivers everywhere.
I am the farm team for people everywhere. Yeah, that's what Paver King is. It's the farm team.
I've got a question for you guys that might be not our finest hour, or what's our even worst hour worthy.
Even worst hour, yeah.
Yeah. Because I've never met you guys in person. I don't think you guys have met each other in person. We've never met each other in person. If you saw us walking down the street or whatever, and you looked at them, what would you think that we do? So like, Mike, what would you think that Chad does for a living, and I do for a living? What do Chad you think Mike would do for a living? And
based on your
appearance, based on our Zoom face,
Zoom face,
and minus the hardscape hat too.
Chad, I'm definitely going with roofer.
Oh, they're the most. Wait, most convicts are roofers.
You got the look of a roof. I think.
Yeah,
most people who leave incarceration,
yes, are roofers.
Are movers. I think most people that are at the local methadone clinic are roofers.
Really?
Well, that's how it is here.
You just alienated our roofer listeners.
I can't. Why?
And our convict listeners.
Oh, I'm sure I've alienated way larger.
As well as Chad.
As well as Chad. I'm just saying, with the straight brim hat and the mullet and the tattoos, you could be a roofer.
Or a methadone user.
or convict.
But that means, okay, but I don't
professional
think,
it's okay. I'm not offended at all.
I don't think that's bad, because that means you're in recovery and you're trying to better your life.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
It's only you that had the perception of that being bad, not me. I look at that as someone who's trying to better their life and clean themselves up. It's not like I said you were shooting heroin on the fucking roof. That would be derogatory.
Do roofers do that?
I don't know.
I've never seen a roofer do that.
I've never been a roofer. I'm horrified of heights.
Me too.
Same.
I am fat, and gravity does not play well with me. It just doesn't. Mike, if I saw you walking down the street,
sales.
Sales.
I feel like I think Mike's in sales.
I feel like
what would I be selling?
I don't know.
That's a question I don't want to ask.
You're in sales, but I don't know.
Okay, so Chad went roofer with Mike. I really feel like you could sell Bell 5 door to door.
Sales. I told you.
Like door to door sales.
No, Bell 5. Because it's the best. It's the best network. Bell 5. I'm just Bell, you want us Bell? None of us have gray hair. You want to fucking sponsor us?
There you go, Bell. There's your one.
Bell's in a little bit.
Bins also got their one. After that,
you don't think you could sell Bell 5 door to door?
I honestly don't even know what Bell 5 is.
It's
like
fiber optic internet.
Fiber optic internet to your house.
Oh, okay.
They roll it out across the lawn and leave it there.
Yeah,
that's right. So that's a fuck show with locates, the whole fiber optic thing. Because if you start digging up that cable in someone's front lawn, it's expensive as fuck to repair. So like Kelly put some locates for some job that has Rogers fiber optic. They want to we have to call them within 72 hours before we plan on excavating. And the person has to be there while we dig at the house.
That's something that I've been wondering about. So when you submitted that, did they let you know that it has fiber there?
I get straight up. I've never submitted the locates for our company ever. Okay. Kelly did. She just brought me all the shit and said, "This seems like a huge pain in the ass."
Yeah.
my reaction to it was, well, we're digging in the backyard. There's no fucking cables there. Fuck these people.
Well, they can't
And-
patch fiber. They have to replace the whole entire line.
I know.
That's
It's
wild.
gonna
Which
be
isn't a huge deal if they just lay it on top of the fucking grass anyway.
Yeah.
You know? So you roll it from one box down the road to the next fucking box and leave it there. Like,
we took the teeth off the E20
that's smart.
because they're just if you own an E20, it's a bitch to change the bucket between the two buckets because there's no quick attach on them. And you have to pound this pin through and grease the shit out of it. So the other bucket, all we did was Drake bought an impact gun, and he just impacts the teeth on and off the fucking bucket. If he doesn't need them, puts them in the tool trailer. Fucking digs with a smooth bucket, and then if we do need the teeth, 99% of the time, residential
Yeah, you
digging with
don't
an
need
E20, you don't need teeth. So.
Yeah.
But that fiber optic thing is going to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So what am I if you see me walking down the street?
Bin driver.
Bin truck drive.
That is like so like
You're a
not
driver,
creative.
but I would say like a septic driver, like a septic toilet pumper guy, you know. Not to be offensive.
Really?
I don't know how you smell. I can't smell you through the TV, through the screen. But I've seen a septic guy or two hop out of the truck, a bigger guy, big boots on there, walk into the toilet with the 4-inch pipe, stick it in the. I could picture Mike coming out of that toilet.
My God.
Then complaining that holy fuck, it's hot, it's 40 degrees out. Mike throws his hat on the ground, starts cursing, lights a cigarette, talking to the guy standing around the toilet.
I thought you were going to go professional wrestler. No, I just.
Wrestler? No.
All right, I'll be the toilet
No.
service guy.
King of pavers.
Admirable.
The important thing is we all have jobs, right? Like we all, and not a shot at anybody. As long as you're working, great. To me, that's incredible.
Yeah,
Like
I totally agree. I think that's a valid point.
I don't think any job is better than the others. If
You're a landscaper. You can't
Yeah.
think that was better than it.
well, I never ever planned or said I was better than anybody, but
I
I never
was
alluded to being better than anybody in my entire life.
I was at hockey this week, and in a roundabout way, like someone said something to me, and I turned to them. I'm like, no one dreams of becoming a landscaper, bro. When they tell little kids in kindergarten to like draw what you want to be when you grow up, no one draws a guy with a shovel.
Yeah.
Nobody
Does
does.
not happen.
I drew a hockey puck.
Did you?
Yeah, because I knew I wasn't good enough to become a hockey player, so I thought the next best thing was to become a hockey puck because that didn't require skill, but I could still be in hockey, right?
Yep.
So that was my first dream. So
Yes.
yeah,
I can appreciate. You play goal, right?
yeah.
That explains things. You don't. Do you? Yeah, I play goal too. It's amazing how many goalies I end up with, like near. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It really is. You start talking like the one of our bin truck drivers she's a goalie. One of our residential guys is a goalie. It's amazing how many goalies just seem to go towards each other or something.
It's really interesting that way. I experienced the exact same thing. And then everybody always says that goalies are a bit weird, so
Oh, for sure.
Which would put you right in the landscape trucker sort of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Landscapers are unique breed. Particularly the people who've done it for a long time are a unique breed.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for a transfer of people in September that are not happy with where they are. I feel like it's a good time of year to like poach some people, or like not like physically go to them and be like, "Hey, come work for me," because I don't think that's productive.
yeah.
But like people who are like, if I put some advertisements out, and then if some people are not happy with maybe where they are, or it's the midway through the season and they've got the mid-season blahs and they're looking for a bit of a change, that kind of stuff. I think that's
And putting that out there on this podcast might be
someone
a
in
good way to. Yeah,
someone in
Australia.
Australia is definitely going to apply. Like, you know, when we had the Lake Ridge YouTube channel, which I still own in case any of those videos ever randomly go viral, our most watched area, like 90% of our views came from Germany. And I was like, we are like the landscaping Hasselhoffs. Like, we are basically the Hasselhoff of landscaping, and we are like rocking it in Germany. For some reason, Germans love landscapers dancing around to 12-second clips of music to get through the copyright laws. Because 12 seconds was the limit back then.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
So, like, it was, we got 12 seconds to make this happen, motherfuckers. And everyone would dance around, and then we'd, okay, 11 and a half, shut that down, or they're going to get copyrighted. Why? I actually got my Twitter account back. Which
You
is
mentioned
crazy.
that last episode, right?
Oh, did I mention that I got it back?
Yeah.
Okay. Or one of them? I don't remember. I actually got it back, which is like a fucking miracle.
That's
Like,
interesting.
yeah, because I've had that account for like 10 years. Like maybe longer than that. Maybe like it was the first thing I ever started on social media.
Interesting.
I was at a Permacon. Permacon better sponsor this episode. Andrew, who's the sales manager, who I know.
Permacon, that's your one.
I don't think we're gonna get sued because I said that, Mike. I think you can keep this one going. You need to delete this. I was at the Permacon conference when I worked at Lake Ridge, and Frankie Flowers was talking about how valuable it was to be on Twitter. And I was like, sure, man. And I started a Twitter account and tweeted Frankie Flowers. I think it was the first thing I ever tweeted. Because there was an app that would take you back to the first thing you ever tweeted at one time. Actually, I still go on Twitter. I know you guys probably don't ever go on Twitter. It's not your thing.
It wakes me up sometimes. I have Twitter, like I'm not on it, but it'll like send me push notifications and stuff about random shit, and they just go off in the middle of the
Why
night.
would you allow push notifications from an app you don't use?
I don't know. Because I'm too busy to turn it off. Maybe I'll do that right now. How do you turn it off?
Push it.
I'll figure that out on my own time.
Oh, we should figure it out.
Let's spend the
This is
listeners'
valuable information.
He's
You go to
not on
settings.
the regular hour. So.
No, you go to settings and use.
This is valuable. This is,
You
some people
scroll
might not
down
know how to do this.
Scroll down to the Twitter.
Show your current location. No, turn that off.
So here's a common courtesy question. Like I don't know if you guys have iPhones or not.
Yeah.
iPhone.
Yeah. If someone's iPhone is sending me read receipts, I text them and be like, yo, your iPhone's sending me read receipts.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit. I'm like, you should set that shit down, because if someone can tell you've read their text and not responded for 5 fucking hours. Like,
yeah.
People are like, holy shit. I tell everyone, hey, your phone, if someone texts me and their phone's sending read receipts, then I fucking tell them. Would you guys tell them, or would you let them just obliviously have people know that they read the text and not responded?
I probably, now that you mention it, I will. But I haven't in the past.
Yeah, that's not my place. That's someone else's place. I'm not here to hold your hand. I'm not here to make your day better. Like, if no one has told you, I'm not going to be like. Would you tell someone if they had food in their teeth?
Can we name this episode? I'm not here to make your day better. That is. I'm not here to make your day better. Thanks, Chad.
Well,
That's attracting the listeners are piling it. It's like we've opened up a 3-inch trash pump of listeners. They're coming at us.
I think that's why people listen. Actually, is the brutal honesty, and
I've had people say to me,
yeah, it's refreshing.
"This is refreshingly honest."
Yeah.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till episode 4 when my computer doesn't work.
Wait, yeah, but this is episode what, 6?
What happened to the whole the How to Hardscape podcast was going to ask us questions?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I feel like we derailed that.
Well, we were gonna do that last week, but then we didn't do one last week. And then I
Chad
thought about
had,
doing it
Chad
today,
had the
but
fake COVID.
yeah,
Fake film.
fake COVID.
Yeah.
Chad had the
I've got the
variant.
monkeypox.
He had the
So-
variant that the test won't see. Monkeypox.
The monkey box.
So no, I figure like let's do it probably next week when maybe
Yeah,
Chad's
sure.
feeling like 100% there.
You wouldn't want him answering random questions at 80%.
80%. Yeah. Yes.
Was there a lot of questions? Or should I be intimidated?
No, there was like one or two. I do.
You said there was a pile building up. I got a pile of questions building up.
Those are my
there was-
questions that I've got for you guys.
Oh,
Because every time, like, I'll be on site, I'll be working, and then something will pop in my brain. So, like, I've got a whole list of like questions that have just been piling up mostly for this podcast, not necessarily like the How to Hardscape interview.
Oh, so like whenever we do that interview, do we have to be on our best behavior? Like, because
You
it's
guys
going to be
can-
hard to transition back to
It'll be
filter
the warm
from
up before we
unfiltered.
start the not
Okay.
finest hour. No, like anything you say, I can always mute you guys. So
keep it out.
it's just a episode of me asking questions to nobody the whole time. You guys are just beeped out the whole entire time.
I just beeped out everybody. Everybody is completely beeped out. Fuck. Have you guys noticed how quickly it gets dark now?
Yeah,
Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like it's like
that
it was.
turns really quick.
It's fucking crazy. It's like Tuesday it was light till 9:00. Wednesday it was light till 5:30. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is going on? Is it changing the time this year?
I think
I don't
so.
know. I think
I also wore this Pride Hardscape hat for the entire episode, so that Evan could share us repetitively on his account with 100,000 followers.
Does that make this
he's
episode?
good. He
Are
must
we
have the right
asking
follow.
Evan?
I-
Evan,
What?
please.
Please
Does that make
share
our-
our
Are we asking
podcast
Evan,
on your
Evan,
100,000
please?
follower account.
Could you
Please
share
subscribe to